Okay, so let me just try and find a break. What's this happy break now? Okay, so we've got a nice little sample, nice little dance sample. And if you go to, sorry, I'm racing ahead here. And if you go to edit sample now, you can do all your editing like what you can do on any sampler, any DAW, look. And as you can see, the line plays where the sample is. You know, for those of you who know how to use samplers, you know, and you just go to here, and then you just literally just cut what you don't want out. So you got a little bit of an end there, chop that, you know. Got that little click at the end there, right? So you just go right click there to there, effects, and then you've got change volume, and then you can just go fade out. And that will help any little clicks. Right, so you see where I'm going with this. Bless you. Now on here, we've got loop as well. You can loop your samples up. There's lots of stuff you can do in here. We'll go through videos of, you know, comment down below if you want to see videos on individual bits and how to use them. I'm just giving you a brief overview of what it is. So when you guys look at the matrix, you know what you're looking at. So now we set the tempo to 165, right? So now we've got that. Now, okay, so you're probably wondering, well, okay, you played that beat, but how do you know it's in time? There's no metronome. Okay, great question, sir. Great question. So what you do is there's no metronome for starters. You probably would have had to make your own metronome, and even with that, you still don't know how to put it in time. So we use a thing called a block highlight, right? So you go to block highlight and you just highlight every 4, and it's like, this is like a visual metronome. Right, so now you can see that's not on the 4, and there's simple keys. You just turn on the edit, and then you would go shift and then backspace, and that will move it down, or backspace would move it up. And the great thing is, what I like about the Amigas, you can do this on the fly, right, as you're working. Okay, so you probably noticed that now doing this, the blocks, sorry, I'll be talking blocks now. If you look along the side here, we've got lines, right? Now these lines determine how many lines are in a block, and at the moment we've got 2 bars at 63. So it's kind of not really enough. Now we could then slow this down. So, because at the moment, you've got 2 sections. You've got the scroll speed and you've got the BPM. So, if we was to move this, look what happens. Okay, so in theory now, we've now slowed down the scroll speed. Now, depending on what you're writing, we can do a video about scroll speed as well, because scroll speed can affect the what can I say? It can affect the groove of what you're doing. You can do like really fast rolls, and believe me, like it's not the same as using your traditional DAW where like you just put a 3264 paintbrush. This gives it a completely different feel, in my opinion. So now you would play your instrument a little bit closer together if you wanted to get, you know, more space in the block. In the block. Okay, so now as you notice, the sample's got a few little clicks in there. And again, you can do little tricks like, you know, zoom the start a little bit and just try to fade it in a tad. But don't fade it in too much. You want to fade it in just a little, yeah? So I would go like that and then just clean it up. Now, obviously there's, my goodness me, we got some background pots and pans clashing there. And usually if you fade in a little bit at the start, it does help to an extent. And then there's such a thing as like positive on the top part of the waveform and negative on the bottom part of the waveform, which also helps a bit. But remember, we're dealing with 8-bit sound here, guys, and you know you got to sit there cleaning up samples. Yeah, fading. Let's try fading on that and see what we got. And I think it's the nature of the sound chip as well that does contribute to a little bit of pops and stuff. But look, even an example on a loop here. Look, we could just loop that. Bosh, bosh. Okay, so we got that there. There we have our little bit thing there now. Let's get a little break in there now and just have a go at looping that over. So I'm just kind of letting you guys know what's going on. You've got your tracks, you've got your muting, you've got, let's see, you've got your play sequence. So, okay, so you've got these blocks now. As these blocks are made up, let me load up something. Hold on. Just to save time here, you know, I would have liked to show you how to loop over a break. I've got other videos showing the workflow of how I do that, yeah. Like synchronizing a break, for example, before we load a song up. One more thing I just want to cover here. Go instrument, go load instrument. Let me just find a drum beat there. And go to see what we got here. Sound library, right? We go sound library now, and look, 94 breaks. There we go, lovely. Right now, a few people asking for some Amiga packs. I think I'll put some more together for the emulator that we got going on. And then yeah, so we get the king beat, one of my faves, right? And again, you're playing it up and down the key. So now you want that in time, right, to the sequencer. So you want to get that at 165. So now what you want to do is you want to put a beat, you know, the break on every 4. So you get it to what tempo you see. How I used to work it, rather than going BPM, I'd go, and this is a good way of working because like you're going by the feel. I would go by the feel of the break and I say, oh, I want to make a tune at this tempo. Right, so that's the tempo I like. So now I've got to tune the sequencer to that break. So I would go, turn on the edit, I'll press that button there on the keyboard, but then I'd use the function keys. Now on the top of your Amiga 1200, you've got function keys F1 to F10, and I'm going to go F6, press, and that's going to give me number 1, F7, number 2, and that will put that break bang in time on every 8, if you like, right? And now you see it stopping, and the reason why it's stopping is because the sequencer's not moving quick enough for that break. Now, okay, we've set it to BPM now, right? Now, there's also another way. SPD is another format for speed. It's probably a more popular version. I used to write everything in SPD. I really don't know why. I think SPD works a bit tighter than the BPM. I don't know. But as you can see, it's absolutely winging now. Can you see that? Now, let's just slow down the other part to it, the scroll, the NRM. That's what it is. Okay, so once you've done that, just make sure before you start doing all this, you zoom the start of your sample and make sure there is no crud at the start of your sample or gaps, because that is going to be just working against you to try and get the beat tight. So you want to see, look, I've got a bit of gap there, so that is not going to do me any favors at all. So I'll zoom that, I'll hit that analysis and now that's the easiest way to do it, because that means that you don't have to do too much fine tuning on your sample. Now, if you're not happy with the way that's tweaked, you can then go to transpose, and then you can transpose the sample up and down. You've also got to click there, you've got fine tune version. Right. So we've done that now, guys. Now we just turn on our little synth. All right, so now we want to go back and fix that up. Let's before we do that, let's mess with that little piano thing, because I kind of like that. Now, another thing I want to talk to about tracks now. Okay, so we're creating this block. We've got tracks here. So this is, look at this track 0, track 1, track 2, track 3, right? So now, because you've only got 2 audio outputs, instead of doing it left and right like some sort of stereo field, you create them as mono, you feed them into a mixer, and you pan them central. And what you have to do is you have to be disciplined, and on your outside tracks, use them for your beats and your bass, yeah? Unless you've got an external sampler, and then that changes the whole game. But just if you just got the Amiga, outside channels, beats and bass, 2 middle channels you use for your sounds. So that way you've got some sort of generic EQ, a low to mid EQ, a low to low EQ, you know, to mid EQ, and high to mid EQ. So that way you kind of got some sort of separation going on. Just wanted to throw that out there. So now we're gonna put down this happy, and then just have a little play. Alright, so now I'm gonna let that loop over, and then I'm just gonna hit the edit key and record when I'm comfortable. Alright, so we got that down, right? So now you can see the principle of it. Alright, so that loop there kind of is a bit wild, so I'm going to go back into that loop there. I'm going to tidy it up a bit. Right, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, get rid of that. Gotta go here. Right, ignore what I just do it. Right, there you go. Right, okay. Okay, that doesn't really tune with it very well. Let's have a listen again. Alright, so I'm going to save that for something later on, and then I'm going to go into here. Let me find a little bass sound now. Let's see if I find a cheeky little Amiga bass sound to go. It's an abstract bass. Let's see what we've got there. Let's see. Load as raw. So if you see that, yeah, load raw, fine. Well, don't really, it's not quite what I had in mind in my head. I'm just trying to find a kick bass or something to go with that. We want a bass, man. We need a bass. Right, what we got here? Oh, a little stretch here, you know. Right, hold on. Oh, this is a good sound. Look, check it. Okay, right, great. So I knew what that sound was. Alright, next sound, guys. Next sound. Let me see. Bass sounds. Let's have a look at this. Bass sound. Kick sound. That's what I wanted. Yeah. Alright. So let's put that in the bass bit. Heavy. Alright, so now you see that one there. I'm just going to hit the backspace, boom, shift and backspace, boom. That pushes those down. and then we have 4 tracks, or 3 tracks, 4 tracks. Alright, so we got that. Right, now, I think I'm going to end the video there. I think that was quite a good insight into what goes on the production side anyway. And then, you know, you've got your instruments. You've also got synth section in here. Just to give you a quick tab on that. That you could make little sine wave bass lines and stuff like that. Pretty cool. And also there's also these little matrix bits here are for effects and for pitch shifts and stuff like that, which is really cool. Now guys, if you found this video entertaining and interesting into, you know, learning the old school way, how to make music, etc., please give us a big thumbs up first of all, and share this video with your friends, and, you know, help me get the views up so I know, you know, signals are good and this type of thing is received well. I'm going to do more videos. If I get to 150 likes on this video, I'm going to do another in-depth video. In the meantime, subscribe to my channel because I upload lots. I'm currently uploading a lot of Amiga workflow videos, and based on what I've just shown you, you can then kind of relate to what I'm actually doing on screen. There's lots of functions on this program, and yeah, I'm going to do some short videos explaining those as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. God bless. Peace out.